Young Xiuzhu, one of the most wanted fugitives of China, finally was jailed for graft on 13th of October this year after 13 years on the run. She's infamously known as China's most wanted fugitive and China's first female corruption giant by the media. With accusations like the embezzlement of 250 million yuan between 1996 and 1999, Yang was sentenced an imprisonment of 8 years along with a fine of 800,000 yuan. Yang served as deputy mayor of Wenzhou from 1995 to 1998 and the deputy director of Zhejiang Construction Department from 1998 to 2003 when she accepted bribes. When the truth came out, an Interpol arrest warrant was issued against her along with some top-ranking officials in China. When her brother Yang Wangrong was arrested by a procuratorate in Zhejiang in March 2003 on charges of accepting bribes from local real estate developers, Yang fled the country along with her daughter, son-in-law, and grandson. Yang has sought refuge in several places to avoid getting arrested, including Hong Kong, Singapore, France, the Netherlands, Italy, and the US. In 2014, Yang was detained in the US for violating the immigration regulations. She tried to enter the country using a counterfeit Dutch passport. In April 2015, CCDI released China's 100 most wanted fugitive list, and Yang topped the list. 2 months later, Yang applied for political asylum in the US while she was still being detained. She told the Reuters that she was innocent and called the Chinese Most Wanted list a political document which targets at enemies of the country rather than criminals. In July 2016, she cancelled her political asylum application and decided to accept the punishment from Chinese law enforcement unconditionally. In November 2016, Yang was deported to China and surrendered herself to the Chinese authorities. And in October 2017, she was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment. Her sentence has been reduced because she pleaded guilty and showed remorse during the trial. Perhaps the reason behind her surrender, which is yet to be known, as Chinese authorities promising her reduction of her penalty.
A key condition is, of course, sentencing. There are people get much less than 8 years. Some get longer, but very few people get longer than 8 years. So I guess the practice is if you return to face trial, then we don't punish you harshly. Hong Kong, for example, we are clean. We're doing fine on anti-corruption laws. China has death penalty on that corruption. It doesn't work. So punishment is one thing. Yes, it is important. It is important to stop people from running away. It is important to bring them back if they have run away. Maybe the most important thing is, as China is doing, try to impose discipline and control the officials in a more systematic manner so that you will not really have the opportunities to do it. How much attention people pay to the case, I don't know. I think the government's intention is to let people know, regardless of how long you've been hiding, you will be brought back for trial. So there's no way to hide. So that is the message. Yes, it is important.
Hello, excuse me, do you know about Yang Xiuzhu's case?
Yes.
Do you think that what facilitated her embezzlement of the public money is the fact that due to decentralization, officials at different government levels have a large amount of power, or there was also a lack of check and balance in the government at that time?
Well, one of the reasons that might have facilitated Yang from fleeing country and avoid punishment for 30 years could be Western government's view towards how China handled their accused suspects. Many foreign countries are reluctant to hand over Chinese suspects because they think that China's courts are controlled by Communist Party, and Communist Party is infamous for torturing to extract information and confession of suspects. Well, I think this is maybe why that foreign governments detain Yang instead of deporting her back to China.
Well, I think Yang's surrendering to the Chinese authority can actually bring some positive impacts in terms of capturing other officials, because as you know, there is the global hunt for corrupt officials in China, and the government has been really open about their punishment. Even if those who fled the country are away, I think they will get caught eventually. And things will not be in their favor when they come back, because they have been escaping from these punishments for so long. But young Xiuzhu has reduced punishment because she surrendered herself willingly to the government. She only has like 8 years of imprisonment and a fine of 800,000 yuan. So I think this can really motivate other officials to surrender themselves willingly to the government. And yeah, thank you.
So I guess education, perception of corruption, higher pay of civil servants, so that you don't have the need for cash, right? So everything is publicity, disclosure, supervision. So everything is related, so that towards the end, people would not do it.